Now let's get into part 2 of the finale. Let me say this, because I did mention Tyler in a fantasy suite. I will say this, right? I respected Hannah's decision. I think it was a smart one, but I was just like, it wouldn't have been me at all. But I respected her decision because I got what she was saying. She was just like, with Tyler, there is passion. But she wants to know, basically, if she is into him or her ovaries are into him. Because let's be real, ladies, a lot of times, and some of y'all are in relationships right now, that your ovaries, not your mind or your heart, made that decision. So I like the fact that she said, you know what? I know that I want you. I know that I want to have sex with you. But I don't know you outside of that. Very smart move. It wouldn't have been me, but very smart move. None of those dudes would have been marriage material for me. But I would have had a ball with Tyler in that fantasy suite. Okay. We would have had some fun. Some good fun. Woo! I told y'all, I like them tall and rock hard. You know what? It's my man. What if, oh Lord, because God does that sometimes. You know what I mean? You have this attraction and then you marry this dude and it's just like, I'm probably going to marry a writer. Knowing good and well I want a running back and I'm going to marry a writer. So now we're down to 2, Tyler and Jed. And guys, can I just say, I feel like we shouldn't be here. It just feels weird. I feel like Hannah did not have enough time to get to know these guys, to get them to the point where she wants a proposal. It just does not seem like she had enough time. I feel like she spent so much time on Judas that she just really didn't get to know these two. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like she's just making a decision with what's left, which is why I feel like she probably had that breakdown where she hopped out of the van and fell. She was a good sport about it, but I got her. She was just like, I can't do this. I can't do it. Like there was just something that wasn't right. And I think it's the fact that she knew that she did not have enough time with these two to make a decision like this. In this show and outside of the show, a marriage proposal is a huge deal. Huge deal, right? Hannah needed more time. She needed more time and she wasted so much time on Judas. So much time. Oh, it was really sad to me. Luke would have been picked. Hannah would have picked Luke. Because remember earlier in my reviews, I was just like, this is the producers, they are doing this, but When I watched Hannah's semi-fantasy suite with Luke, she was smitten. Still smitten by that dude. The way she looked at him, just how she was just engaged with him. The only reason why Luke was not there at the end proposing to Hannah is because he said he had a problem with her having sex with those other dudes, then coming back to him. Now, I will say this. That is the only thing I've ever agreed with Luke about. Because we have to be real. In the real world, this could not happen. You could not go sleep with three other people and then come back to somebody that you're interested in marrying and be like, well, you know what? I've had sex with all of these guys right before I got to you, but I realized that you're the one. Let's make it happen. That wouldn't rock in the real world. So I got where Luke was coming from. That's the only time I ever got where he was coming from. I think if he would have never said that, guys, I'm telling you, she would have picked him in the end because she does not have the same kind of love and passion that she has with Luke. And that's so sad, but I get it. Guys like Luke are who church girls are brought up to marry. Like he is the type of guy in any church, any culture of church, any race, wherever it's located, America, outside of America. That is the kind of guy that we are all church girls who become church women are raised up to marry. They nurture and mature us to get to that point to where we're about a good 19 or so, and they're trying to pair us up with a dude like that. That is who we are trained to look for in a husband. So I got it, right? But it was just so sad watching because he would have won her heart. He won her heart. He would have been the dude to propose to her in the end, if he would have never said that one statement, that was the only thing that X'd him out for Hannah was the fact that he said he had a problem that she had sex with other guys before he came to meet with her. Because she was listening to everything that he was saying. And when he said to her, I have a problem proposing to you if I know that you have had sex with other men before meeting me tonight. That is the only thing that pissed her off. She had issues with everything else that he did, but she got over it because she wanted to be with him. She wanted to be with him. She even said in her confessional, Luke was love at first sight. Really, girl? With Tyler right there? Okay. And that is why I just don't think that she was in any position to make this decision, because the dude that she really wanted, she sent home early. She would have, guys, Luke would have been it. He would have been it. So I just don't feel like she was in the position to be at this point to make this decision when the man that she really wanted, she sent home. Another thing I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that if he wouldn't have said it on camera, he still would have been there at the end. I don't think she would have cut him for that. I think she would have reassured him that he is the one that she wants to be with, and, you know, would have went along with the fantasy suites or whatever and married Luke. I do. I really, really believe it, because, guys, even Luke said it when they were on their date, their fantasy suite date. He said, you know, a lot of conversations that we had off camera about our faith, and she was drawn in. Oh, Hannah, you would have picked Luke. I feel like this whole thing that she's doing with Luke is not the guy for me and all this stuff. That's for us. You know how your girlfriend does that. When your girlfriend is dating a dude that is terrible for her, she finally breaks up with him, or he dumps her, okay? And she does the whole thing. He was never good for me anyway. You guys are right. I can't stand him. I will never be with a man like that. Secretly texting him, you know, I want you back and all. You know, we've been there, and we got a girlfriend that has done that. You know how that is. And I feel like this is the situation. From watching this ending and seeing how she was all over the place after Luke and just assessing how she was with Luke this season, y'all, he would have been the one. He probably still is the one for her. Oh my gosh. Is she going to find her way back to him? Guys, we got to protect Hannah. We got to protect Hannah. She cannot find her way back to that. I hope, because I did hear that she lives out here now in LA. And oh gosh, LA is not the best place for somebody who is like still, you know, very cookie cutter. This ain't the place to expose you to things if you don't really have that willpower and just know who you are and know how to say no to certain things. So I don't know, where should she go? Not New York, Jersey. I just need her to like get out of her surroundings and get somewhere safe, because I feel like if she goes back home, or if LA turns out to be too difficult for her, she'll probably run back to that and find her way back to Luke. And that won't be a good look for her. That won't be. Oh, keep Hannah in your prayers. Don't turn back. You'll become a pillar of salt for a dude with bad eyebrows, girl, now. So anyway, Hannah finally gets back into the little van or whatever, and she goes to meet with Tyler, because I don't think she made the wrong decision with cutting Tyler, right? I think she should have cut Jed too. I don't think that she was ready, like I stated before. But I felt bad for Tyler, because he had this whole speech. He was so ready. I don't think that he was ready to marry Hannah, but I think he was ready to have won this competition. Can we just be real? And I think he felt like he had it in the bag. And then when she said Tyler, and he was like, it's not me, is it? And she was like, no. That hurt me, because it was just hard to watch. It was really hard to watch the disappointment in his eyes. But I think for Tyler, this was a new experience for him, because I don't think that Tyler has ever been dumped before in his life. I don't think he's ever been rejected. And to have something that he was so sure about be taken away from him, I think that's what he was dealing with, and not with the fact that he lost Hannah. Now let's get to Jed. Of course he shows up with his guitar. Of course he does. And he sings this song. Guys, it's all over the place. It's nasally. It's off key. He's in and out of range. And Hannah is just vibing with it. And I was just like, oh, girl, you're not ready. I like her as a person. I don't think she was ready for the Bachelorette position. You know what I mean? I hate to do this, but I will always do this. Trista was ready to be a wife. That's why Trista and Ryan have continued to work out. She wanted to be married. She wanted a husband. She went through this competition with that in mind. I feel like today, the Bachelor and Bachelorette position is about popularity. It's about becoming an Instagram or a social media influencer. I don't think it's about finding love, which is why I was so upset when Blake wasn't the Bachelor. But girl, we're going to get into Bachelor in Paradise. I'm so glad he was not picked for that either. But I just felt like at the time that he really wanted, boy, was I off, a wife, right? I think we need to start picking people. I make the decision, but I would like moving forward for the Bachelor and Bachelorette position to go to people who we can really see a love story with, who we can really see a fairy tale with. I don't feel like we're getting that. And I think we know when these people are picked what we're getting into. We know what these people want, because as soon as the season starts, they're on Instagram, posting Fashion Nova or teeth whitening cream or skinny tea and all kinds of stuff they're hawking. And you're just like, this is why you did it. Not hating. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on no way people are getting $1 as long as it ain't hurting nobody. But as a fan of the show, I want to see results. I want to see results, and I don't want to go into the show already knowing that this isn't a good idea. Hannah, fun to watch. Not ready to be a wife. Not ready. Not yet a Bachelorette. She is still single, sexy, and free, and dipping it and doing it. Good girl, have a great time. Don't get in this position and not give us results. We want results. And I don't think we've been getting it lately. Then Jed proposes. What a lackluster proposal. I was like, this is it? This is the proposal? And Hannah was just eating it up. It didn't seem right. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. I was like, this shouldn't be happening. She should not be getting proposed to by any guy, unless it was Luke, because that's the one she really wanted. That is the dude that she really wanted. And having Jed get down on one knee, knowing that Megamind was not really into her, it just, I don't know. I didn't like it. I was just like, womp womp. It was just very anticlimactic. And then, we get to the juice and the tea and the meat of this season. Sad to say, the best damn part, because we see this whole video collage of them just having a good time. Hannah is all over Jed, but in every freaking video, what is Jed doing? Playing his guitar. Scammer. Scam. He scammed our girl. Then we cut back to Chris Harrison, and he's just like, well, certain things didn't work out the way we thought. And then we're sitting down with Hannah, and we find out that Jed had a girlfriend the whole damn time. He had a girlfriend the entire time he was on the show. He had a girlfriend when he proposed. What? How can you be worse than Ari? How? I didn't think that anybody in Bachelor Nation, from my experience, could be worse than Ari. Jed, you had a girlfriend. And then his explanation was trash. He was stuttering the whole time, like couldn't get the explanation out. And Hannah is just sitting there. She did so good. I will give my girl props. She did so good, just like going after him. Even when she sat down with him, she was just like, you told her you loved her and you still proposed to me. How dare you? She is a girl's girl. That's what I love about Hannah. She is not that type of girl that will fight the woman that the man cheated on her with. You know what I mean? You know them type of girls. They ain't girls. Ugh. Ban them from the women's sex. Those type of girls I can't deal with. But Hannah's my girl. Because she was just like, I feel bad for her. You told her that you wrote her this note, told her that you loved her, and then you got on a plane and came and swooped me off my feet. And then still telling her that we will both be thankful when this is all over. It was a career opportunity for him. And he tried to turn it into, well, yeah, it started out that way, but then I started to fall for you. And she was just like, why didn't you tell me? We have multiple times off camera for you to tell me this, but you're telling me this now. And then you don't want to cry on camera. He wasn't crying, guys. He was rubbing. We've all done that. We've all been freaking 6 years old. He's moving his eyes and like, moving around his pupils, trying to push out some liquid so it can show that he's crying, but he was never going to cry. He was lying to Hannah the whole time, and Hannah, sad to say, handled it like a champ though. She really, really did. But Jed, I mean, you can't, like, how dare you? It's so awful. It's so awful. And then to talk about this girl this way, like, Jess, she was your girlfriend. She was your girlfriend. She threw a surprise party for him, took him to the freaking Caribbean. He was having sex with her the whole time. The night before he gets on the plane to come to this show, has sex with the girl and tells her that he loves her. She was heartbroken. Of course she didn't want you to go. You just, to be quite honest with you, dicked me down, told me you loved me. Now you're hopping on the plane about to marry some other chick. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. And I'm so glad that girl was just like, no, you're not going to do this to me. This is not okay. Jed, wow. He gives me that type of guy that wants to follow his dream and wants everybody to pay for it. You know what I mean? So, because the way he was talking about this woman that he was with, it was very apparent that she was taking care of him. She obviously came from privilege and he was eating off of that. And I felt like he was doing the same thing with Hannah. That's the type of dude that he is. He's a kept man. Jed is a kept man. He wanted to ride Hannah's coattails until something happened with his career. But the girl that he probably was going to marry had he not been on the show blew up his spot. Now he can't get anything because he's a villain now in Bachelor Nation. And he did all this apologizing, and it's just like, boy, like, it don't work. Even when he came out, nobody clapped for him. I think Chris Harrison clapped. Nobody clapped for him because it's one thing to scam. It's another thing to just be out here breaking hearts. How could you lie on a proposal? You told this girl you wanted to marry her. You're building your life. You're having sex with, like, do men not know how intimate sex is? Like, of course there are times when it's, filthy and fun. But a lot of times it's very intimate, and how can you just have sex with these women, tell them that you love them and that you want to marry them, and just go and just be deceitful and dishonest and be okay with it? Because even when Hannah was just like, oh, you told your roommate that you won when you got back home. You told your boys that you won the competition. Not that you have a fiance. You told them that you won. That was his intentions. First of all, let's back up. Hannah, you was about to marry a dude that had roommates? Hell no. Not in Nashville. If a dude got roommates in LA and New York, I understand. In freaking Nashville, where you can rent out a mansion for $500 and you got roommates? Boy, bye. Boy, bye. Jed is a kept man. He is a scammer. He is a gigolo. Hannah, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but girl, you wasn't ready anyway. So thank the Lord that you dodged the bullet. The only good thing that came out of this, in my opinion, is that Hannah found some strength in herself. I think she was relying on this strength from a man, but she found it within herself because she was like, I realized that you can't break me, that I'm a strong person and that I don't need a man, I want one. Can I tell you, probably before this process, Hannah wouldn't have said that. And it's so sad, right? It's so sad that she had to be broken like this to be put together like this, but I'm happy for her, especially now since she's in the entertainment industry. You gotta have some strength. You gotta have a backbone, and you have to be able to say no, and you have to know what you want and walk away even when the deal looks delicious. I think she's getting there, and I feel comfortable now with her being in this because I just felt like she was too naive for what she was about to enter into. But I think our girl got it now. Because even when Jed was like apologizing to her, she sat and listened to him and all of this stuff about how he loves her. And she was like, thank you for that. But I don't love you like that anymore. The audience went crazy. Me too. I almost dropped my laptop. I was like, yes, girl, you don't need him. You don't love him like that no more. You know that wasn't love. I'm happy for her because she needs, guys, she needs to have this mindset. This industry is not nice. Not nice. It can be beautiful, but there's a whole lot of demons in suits out here, right? So I'm glad that she is getting some wisdom and some strength because she's going to need it moving forward, especially if she's going to continue to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. So I was happy for her. I really, really was. And I not saying kind of, I just didn't like this one thing. I didn't like the fact that Tyler was brought out, the second choice. And I think that because he's still auditioning for The Bachelor, I think that he was not able to say what he really wanted to say. Because let me tell you something, somebody dumps you for somebody else who you know is trash. I don't think you're going to be like, yeah, let's go out for drinks and see what happens. I think he said that so he can still be considered the nice guy because you really can't kick the Bachelorette when she's down. But it would have been his right to be like, no, you didn't want me then, so you can't have me now. It would have been his right to do that. But I think he's still auditioning to be the Bachelor. And this is why I want him to be the Bachelor. Y'all know I was rooting for Pilot Peter and I was rooting for Mike, right? Still kind of rooting for Mike, but I'm not in it for Pilot Peter anymore. Peter's a nice guy. He is not Bachelor material, in my opinion. Here is why. Tyler and Mike, they're dudes we all want to bang. We got to be real. Like, we all want to be with them in some aspect, right? This show needs a lead that will make us tune in every week. I couldn't stand Colton, but the boy was fine. You know what I mean? Like, can we be real? I know a lot of y'all wasn't feeling it, but he was thick, tight, and 6'5". So y'all know I was there every Monday. This is what you need. You need eye candy. These boys are eye candy, and they both have the kind of swag that all women will be attracted to. Let me tell you something. If Tyler is the Bachelor, listen, I'm all for it because I know that all women are getting play. You know how many sisters going to audition for that show? Hell, I might even audition. Hello, casting. I hear you were looking for somebody to date the Bachelor. Let me stop. Never. He's cute, but, I'm doing the most. Anyway, same thing with Mike. Who don't want him? You know what I mean? So it's between Mike and it's between Tyler because they're eye candy. You know what I mean? They're attractive men. They're attractive, macho men. That is just what they're looking for in The Bachelor. I think that Pilot Peter is just so cute, adorable, loving, and soft. He's handsome as well. I just don't see it. I don't see it. He's a nice guy. I want him to be on Paradise. I want him to find love in Paradise. But I just feel like Mike and Tyler, one of them gotta have it. Because come on, we need a dude that's gonna make us swoon. We're gonna be like, oh, with Pilot Peter. With Tyler, we're gonna be like, ah. With Mike, we're gonna be like, yes. I'll take the rose, daddy. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. It's between one of them. Because Tyler has went this far on the journey, I'm rooting for him. But if it's not Tyler, I want it to be Mike. Those are my picks. What are your picks? Let us know in the comment section below, and I will see you soon for Bachelor in Paradise. Love you guys. Bye.